island countries Americans can move to without a passport, but are they safe and cheap? Hello and welcome back to Retire Early Lifestyle. Out of sight, out of mind are these beautiful island paradises that boast some of the best weather and scenery in the United States, and Americans can travel without needing a passport. No archaic and shape-shifting immigration policies. Incredible! Imagine here in your own backyard are these gorgeous tropical oases. Before we begin, we do want to let you know that these islands are U.S. territories administered by the USA. They're not managed by the USA directly. And in fact, most of these sparsely populated islands have their own government, immigration, and customs, and their own way of doing things. Secondly, and this is important, not needing a passport means you will need to show federally approved ID, and sometimes they will also want to see your birth certificate to prove you are a citizen of the United States. Okay, so let's begin. Number 1 on our list today is the U.S. Virgin Islands. Americans can hop on a plane to any of the U.S. Virgin Islands without a passport because the Virgin Islands are part of the United States of America. Well, they're certainly not that far from the U.S., jetting out about 1,000 miles from Miami, Florida. Did you know the U.S. has some of the best snorkeling and scuba diving in the world? I think these little hideaways are out of sight, out of mind, and people just forget they even exist, but here they are. There is so much to do and see in your own backyard. Look at that crystal clear turquoise water and beautiful scenery. 3 lovely coral islands make up the U.S. Virgin Islands: St. John, St. Thomas, and St. Croix, and they all have their own distinct characteristics that make up this lovely island archipelago. These lovely atolls also share something in common, and the love of water sports such as parasailing, paragliding, sailing, scuba diving, snorkeling, and when you get tired of the water, there is plenty of hiking. In fact, you won't be bored if you like to do any of these activities, or if you simply want to just lay back in your lounge chair and enjoy the surf, weather, and the pristine views. You can do that too. Here's some fast facts about the Virgin Islands. Yes, you can drink the water. The currency is the US dollar. And yes, they speak English. Nope, it's not cheap. It's more expensive than the US. Yes, there is crime and it can be violent. Watch your belongings, stay aware, don't walk off the beaten path, stay in well-lit areas because there is petty crime. Women alone may be sexually assaulted, and there are sexual assaults that occur on the Virgin Islands. Sexual assaults are higher here than in the USA per 100,000 people, according to statistics. Our recommendation: we've been warning our viewers about solo female travelers for years, and we're sticking to it. Our other really good guideline that we've been practicing for years and that has kept us free from crime is not going out at night. Now, some people scoff at that, but that's the way it is. You can take it or leave it. We're not telling anyone what to do, but we think that you can enjoy everything a place has to offer from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m., and that's that. Moving on, Guam is number 2 on our list. Now, we knew there were some pretty nifty U.S. territories where you didn't need a passport, but this next beautiful island is one that is really out of sight, out of mind. Guam is a lovely island made up of a bunch of smaller islands in the Caribbean. Guam is chock full of activities such as snorkeling, scuba diving, and numerous water sports. Guam has many different beaches that one can go and enjoy nature and high adventure activities. Beyond the beaches, Guam boasts several nature and wildlife parks and hiking trails, so there is something for everyone. Can you believe this beautiful island is part of the United States, and you can visit or even move there without a passport? It's absolutely gorgeous. Fast facts about Guam. Yes, you can drink the water. Yes, they speak English. No, Guam is not cheap. It's more expensive than the USA. And yes, Guam is somewhat safe, but they're saying petty crime is rising. Whatever you do, always keep a lookout, even when on a small island chain such as Guam. They seem safe, and most people stay safe and then say they feel safe, but that's not going to stop an attacker. Just stay aware and enjoy yourself. Moving on to number 3, American Samoa. American Samoa is a beautiful island chain located in the Pacific Ocean. It's a lovely place, and even though it is a U.S. territory, it is much less developed than Guam and the Virgin Islands. It doesn't get as many tourists either. Sounds like a great place to be just to get away from it all. There are national parks with lots of hiking and walking trails to keep you busy, plus some fantastic beaches for those who love all of the water activities. Fast facts. The US dollar is the official currency. The water is not drinkable. Yes, it is very inexpensive. It's so inexpensive, it's darn right cheap. Samoan and English are the official languages. Yes, it is relatively safe, but you still need to stay aware, but it's much safer than Guam or the Virgin Islands. Next up, we have Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is officially known as the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. Traveling to Puerto Rico will be much like visiting tropical paradise like the Dominican Republic or Colombia, but Americans don't need a passport. Puerto Rico is considered both a Latino and a Caribbean cultured U.S. territory. There's many great beaches and tourist attractions abound throughout the island of Puerto Rico. El Yunque National Forest is the only rainforest within the U.S. National Forest System, and it's huge. The forest has numerous hiking, biking, walking, and hiking trails, beautiful waterfalls, and rivers. If you like walking and nature, this place is one of the places to check out besides the hidden little covelet beaches. Hundreds of beaches adorn the mountainous landscape edges of Puerto Rico. Always a new beach, hiking trail, or activity to explore for the adventurous person. Sounds like a nature lover's paradise, and it is. The Broke Backpacker has this to say about Puerto Rico in a nutshell. Here's some fast facts about Puerto Rico. Most Puerto Ricans are bilingual, but the citizens prefer speaking Spanish, while the businesses and government speak English. That means you probably should learn just a little bit of Spanish before visiting or moving there so you can interact with the local people better. And no, you can't drink the water in Puerto Rico. Cost of living is slightly less than in the USA, but not by much. The official currency is the US dollar. Puerto Rico has crime, so use the same precautions you would as if you were going to Colombia, Mexico, or Dominican Republic. And so the next U.S. territory and the last on our list is the Northern Mariana Islands. The Marianas consist of 14 islands, all with their own distinct differences that make them special. The largest of these islands being the Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. I hope I'm saying those right. It's almost hard to believe that these beautiful tropical islands are part of the United States. The Marianas are not particularly big, but there is a lot to do and see, and if you have a car, you can drive from one end of the island to the other in about an hour. The Marianas boast golfing, hiking, scuba diving, snorkeling, and other oceanic activities. Numerous sleek resorts line the bays and inlets. Saipan has the hiking and walking trails if you're a fan of that, and there are beaches with little beautiful coves just about everywhere along the island. Again, American citizens do not need a passport to visit or move to the Marianas. Just bring your suitcase and get settled in. Fast facts. The 3 official languages are English, Chamorro, and Carolinian. The water in the Marianas is not drinkable. It's slightly less expensive than the USA. And yes, it's fairly safe in the Marianas. The locals joke that the most dangerous thing on the island is getting bit by mosquitoes because they carry diseases. And this is true. Dengue fever is a problem right now in tropical spots, so watch out for that. When we were in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, we bought some natural mint, peppermint, camphor oil mixture and put it on our skin about every 4 or 5 hours, and it worked pretty good. By the way, dengue is on the rise in Puerto Vallarta with 54 new cases so far in 2024, just in case anyone's wondering and you're going to go there. So here you have it. The countries you do not need a passport, and the people speak English. They use the US dollar, and you'll still be enjoying tropical weather, beautiful beaches, and friendly people. Everything you would have had if you had gone to a non-US territory. Both Guam and Puerto Rico seem the most interesting to us out of these 5 places, and we would love to go visit these US territories one day. What about you? Which island nation would you like to visit the most? Well, we hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about these U.S.-owned territories. Take care and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.